My name is Marina Pajic, and I am the co-director of a research program and head of the Personalized Cancer Therapeutics Lab here at the Garvan Institute of Medical Research. So I've always been interested in science as far back as I can remember. Probably the earliest would be when we learned in primary school about the great life of one of the famous engineers and inventors of Serbian origin called Nikola Tesla, who I'm sure you're all aware of. And then from then on, really, I naturally gravitated to natural sciences, excelling in math, chemistry, learning about Marie Curie as well, one of the famous physicists who worked on radioactivity. And then that really spearheaded my love for science in general. It did take quite a lot of studying to get to where I am today. So finishing school, I then did an undergrad degree in science with a major in pharmacology at University of Auckland, followed by a master's with honours again in Auckland, New Zealand, moving to do a PhD at University of New South Wales here in Sydney, under supervision of the great Professor Michelle Haber, who's the director of the Children's Cancer Institute, moving on to do a postdoc at the Netherlands Cancer Institute, again in a renowned lab of Professor Piet Borst. So this is in Amsterdam, and then coming back to Australia to really develop my own research focus in pancreatic cancer. So in cancer research specifically, probably since 2002, this is when I kicked off my PhD. And really there I started developing an interest in trying to understand treatment resistance as a major clinical problem. So first working on childhood cancers as part of the PhD, then moving on to breast cancer during the postdoctoral studies, and then coming back to Australia, joining the Australian Pancreatic Cancer Genome Initiative, and then developing really and growing that research focus in the space of pancreatic cancer. I am very fortunate that right now I am my own boss, technically, so I lead the lab here at the Garvan. That said, I am part of a much bigger team, so this is a team of collaborations, both that I have joined as well as forged during my development here at the Garvan. So these are national and international collaborations, and they span really a whole range of, preclinical scientists, so basic scientists working together, industry, so involving pharmaceutical collaborations and close clinical links as part of our research. Probably the fact that science is exciting. Every day is different and new discoveries are always around the corner. I also really enjoy working as part of my team, being able to develop that team, hopefully nurturing the young ones, so the students that we have in our team, as well as some of the research assistants and junior postdocs. Watching them grow really drives me to try to do better. Grant applications are a nightmare for every scientist. I think I can speak broadly on that topic. I have to say I have been very fortunate in the last few years that I have received the Snow Medical Research Fellowship. So this significant amount of funding has really allowed me to try to focus more on the research itself and to take me out, at least a little bit, out of the funding cycle. That said, I still have to focus and apply, particularly for the more translational funding schemes. So I still apply for grants, probably 3 to 5 grants per year, as opposed to anywhere between 10 and 15 grants, which is what a normal normal researcher would do. My most cherished, I guess, scientific achievement so far has come from my time at the Garvan. Probably, I mean, there are two achievements actually worth highlighting. First one, part of my earlier development. So one of the key molecular targets that we have identified and published a few years ago have since led to trials, both done by our clinical team as part of the APGI, so the national network that I mentioned before, and since then have been taken on by others internationally and have now received FDA approval to treat specific types of pancreatic cancer. So these are some of the DNA damaging, DNA targeting agents. And then the second part is probably some of the research that was led by myself as the laboratory head. So again, targeting a specific type of cell division machinery that the tumor cells aberrantly activate or accelerate. And so that we've shown as a promising, again, had a promising drug that has since reached clinical trials. But I guess the verdict is still out on those and how they best might be combined. So probably my most cherished achievement outside of science would be my 9-year-old girl, who I have the pleasure of watching develop and grow every day. Where do I see myself in 5 years? That is, I still feel very young, and I feel like I'm learning every single day. Every day I go to work, I feel like there is a lot more to gain, and with every new advance that we and others bring to the field, there is so much more to learn. So I do find answering that question very tricky. I would like to think that in 5 years, we have made some major advances in the treatment of pancreatic cancer. Those survival rates, although they are improving, they're still dismal. So I would like to see some of our therapies not only in clinical trials, but actually starting to see, some real patient benefit coming through there as well. I've had a lot of interests outside of cancer research probably during my junior sort of development, career development, less so these days. I still very much enjoy hiking when I get the opportunity and just being in nature. With a little kid around who loves to have parties all the time, I also enjoy baking quite a lot. And apart from that, running. Running is another big thing. I find that question also very interesting. Maybe it's my immaturity as well. I don't have a bucket list as such. I plan to live a long time, and I plan to work in this area for a very long time to come. I would like to do more travel, I think, but in general.